you in a month. You gotta get a little bit more wild than that. How are you doing today? Bro, you've been hearing so much of that Hispanic music outside. They get excited. Man, it's so good to see you guys. I know people are trickling in because they got some karaoke on Thursdays or something. We're gonna see about maybe possibly moving that to another day, but it's good to be with you all. How was your New Year? How many of you guys got hooked up for Christmas with something you liked? At least one thing. How many guys wanted something you didn't get it? How many guys happy to be alive and you made it to 2015? Okay. Come on, we gotta change that today. We gotta change that. How many guys had good times with your families? How many guys wish it would have been a little bit better? Okay. Thank you for your honesty. Lalo, good to see you, man. Well, real quick, we're gonna get started today. Everyone look at your neighbor real quick. Look at your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. And I want you to say awkward. Okay, let's try it again. Look at your neighbor and say awkward conversation. Okay, look at someone else. Look at someone else. Say awkward conversation. Okay. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. Shh. How many of you in this room have ever had an awkward conversation with somebody? Anybody in this room? Okay, the rest of you are lying, okay? How many in this room have ever had an awkward conversation? Ladies, how many of you have ever had to break up with a guy and it was awkward? Guys, how many of you ever dated this girl that was just a little crazy and you had to kind of call it out? Oh, he's standing up, man. Bro. Now hold on, shh. If your neighbor's talking, say shh. Isn't it not the most awkwardest thing to break up with him? Like, here's how it looks, right? Here's how it looks. Elizabeth, just come up. I'm just gonna model it for you, right? This is a breakup in high school. Hold on. Hey, so can we meet later?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Emoji, right? So then we meet. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you?
Hey, good.
Sister. Hey, so, the whole just relationship thing, it ain't quite working out. It's not you, it's me.
You're right.
All right, I'll see you later. Isn't it not awkward?
Right.
She cries, right? How about this? How many of you have ever been like at a restaurant and you're the only one with no money? Hey, hold on, wait, zoom in for me. Isn't this true? You're the one with no money and you know that it's gonna cost more than $1, but you're like, hey bro, can I borrow $1? Like $1's not gonna buy you anything, but you ask them for $1 because if they give you one, maybe they'll give you two. How about one more awkward conversation? I'm gonna give you guys one more. Have you ever tried to pick up on someone you liked? All the time. Has it ever been awkward? Right? Ladies, it's kind of like, Alan, just get up from real quick. It's kind of like this, right? No, you're a guy. Sit down, dude. Elizabeth, come here. Bro, we keep it holy here, man. Come on. Jesus made Adam and Eve, okay? All right. So it's like this, right? Hey, I seen you've been doing pretty good in math. Want to see if you'll maybe give me some tutoring lessons later. I hope you ladies are like, excuse me?
How do they go for that kid, dog?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Isn't that crazy? Like, they're awkward conversations. How many of you have ever known you were going to have one, but you still had it anyways? You're like, dude, this is going to be really awkward. How many of the first time you met me, it was awkward? I came up to you and I was like, hey, I got donuts. How many of you remember when we were able to give out donuts before? Everybody remember that? How many of you remember the first time I ever met you?
Me.
How many was it a little awkward for anybody? How about the first time, hold on, because one time I was in this school and I told this guy, I'm like, hey bro, hold on, shh, up here on the top, shh. I told this guy, hey dude, man, have a great day, love you bro. And he's like, love? Love? Bro, you're a guy. I'm like, yeah, not like that, man. I mean, just love you as a brother, right? It's kind of awkward. Awkward conversations. It's funny because a lot of times we only have conversations with people that we think don't really know us. It's a lot easier sometimes hold on, to talk to people when we know they know nothing about us? How many of you are really good at putting on a front? Be honest. Like when you show up and the room doesn't know you, you could be anyone you want to be. Yeah, so I played all-star baseball when I was 6. Pro skate, right? You can be anybody you want to be. But how many of you know it's a little harder to talk with someone that knows everything about you? A little bit easier too, okay. I want you to imagine that I knew every single, hold on, shh. Right here, homie, shut up for me. I want you to imagine that I knew every single bad thing you've ever done in your life. How many of you know that would kind of suck? How many would be like, dude, I don't want Brian to see me? How many have ever done something like, let's say maybe last night or the night before, and you're like, dude, I don't want to go to school because people know. And we live in a social media generation, so when you do something, it gets everywhere all quick, right? It's so crazy. It's easy to talk to people that don't know us. This is why, hold on, watch. Hold on, just shh. I'm about to get done. This is why it's easy when you're a freshman to come into school because no one knows you. But come senior year, people kind of already know who you are, what you're about. And if what you're about and who you are isn't the best thing, that's the kind of reputation that you carry. I want to tell you a quick story. So there was this woman, right? And she's super thirsty, and so she goes to get a drink, not like a drink, but she goes to get a glass of water. Hold on, shh, not thirsty like that, bro. Come on. Come on, everybody say K-I-H. Okay, now everyone said it. Say K-I-H. One more time, K-I-H. Keep it holy. There you go, bro. So next time you be throwing out thirsties, I'm going to say K-I-H, bro. Keep it holy. Do me a favor, if some guy's trying to hit on you, just say, hey, K-I-H. Right? So look at this woman. She's real thirsty. She wants to get a drink. So she goes to this place, and she runs into this man. This random man. Now this man and this woman start talking. Not like that, but they start talking. They start talking about life and different things that are going on. And all of a sudden, this man asks her a personal question. The man says, hey, so who's your husband? And the woman goes, so-and-so. And he goes, no, that's not your husband. In fact, the last 5 men you've been married to are not your husband either. Now, I have a mom. I'm going to get vulnerable with you guys once again. My mom is on her almost fourth marriage. So I understand this story more than anyone else. Now, I came from a home where different men were in my life. And how many of you know it's hard as a young man to have a stepdad? Especially one that don't respect you, right? How many of you have stepdads? How many it's a little difficult sometimes? Well, this man tells this woman, well, the guy you're with now is not your husband, and either were the last 5. And all of a sudden she goes, whoa, how do you know that? Now I want you to imagine I come up to you, and I was like, hey bro, so it's good to see you, man. And you're like, yeah, what? It's good to see you. Hold on, bro, English, okay?
Chinese, that's what.
Chinese, okay.
Right, what do you want me to say?
All right, just be natural. Hey bro, it's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hey, it's crazy, bro, how you smoked that blunt last night, got drunk, and fell asleep. Now, I want you to imagine, now, he really didn't do that. Hold on. But wouldn't that be crazy?
Hold on,
Wouldn't that be crazy if I went up to you and knew all that about you? What would you think? You'd be like, snap, this guy's a fortune teller, right? No, wrong. Hold on, hold on, bring it in. This guy goes, hey, hold on, This guy goes, hey, the guy you're with now is not your husband, either were the last 5. And the woman goes back to her family and all her friends, and she starts telling them about this guy that told her everything about her. Now, it's one thing if I know you, but it's another thing if I have no idea who you are and I tell you everything about you. That story that I'm sharing with you is actually in the Bible. There was this woman, and Jesus meets her, right? And sometimes people are like, why would Jesus say that? Why would Jesus bring up her past? Isn't that kind of, I mean, if you went up to my mom and you told my mom, hey, like the last 4 guys you've been with are not your husband. Isn't that the most awkwardest thing?
Well, they're not.
They're not. Exactly. You know what's wild? Hold on. I'm almost done. Focus here real quick. If your neighbor's talking, nudge him a little bit. Focus in for me. Hold on. I'm almost done. Hold on. Shh. It's crazy. What if I was to tell you today that some of the most awkwardest conversations we ever have is not with each other, hold on, but it's with Him? How many of you have ever treated God like an idol before? Hey, if you're on your phones, just get off them real quick. Just focus in for me. I'm almost done, okay? I only got you guys for like 20 minutes a week. Hold on. Focus for me. How many of you have ever treated God like an idol? Like He's on a statue and you're like, God. I mean, what if I went up to you and said, hey, you'd be like, bro, just shake my hand. It's cool. Like, you don't gotta, right? Some of the awkwardest conversations sometimes we have is with God. And I want to challenge you this week. Hold on, I want to challenge you guys this week. Hold on, focus for me. I want to challenge you this week. In fact, I dare you. In fact, I triple dog dare you. I triple dog dare you this week to strike up a conversation with God. Ladies, I dare you that when you're going through your roughest moments, you don't call that boy. Because he ain't going to have no answers. I dare you to call the creator of your soul. I wasn't here on Thursday, so I'm sitting in the court thing, and the judge says, is there anybody in here that's biased? You know, you just don't. And I said, me. And he's like, why are you biased? I said, well, my religious views, Your Honor. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, Your Honor, I believe in mercy. And the judge, now the whole court is looking. I want you to imagine this, okay? There's a guy. The guy who's probably getting persecuted is like, thank God for that man right there. Imagine you're sitting, how many of you have ever been to court? Imagine you're sitting in court and someone stands up and says, wait a minute, Your Honor, I believe in mercy. And I said, Your Honor, I can't convict this man.
I would love it.
I can't convict him. Because this is what I said, Your Honor, everyone in this courtroom is guilty of something. And everyone's kind of like, you know? And I realized in that moment, snap. I started talking to God in that courtroom. I'm like, God, help me. I feel really crazy right now. I don't know what's going on. Help me. The judge says, juror number 17, you're good to go home. Ooh, man. But I started talking with him in that place. Bible club is not, listen, I understand that you guys come here and for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you hear the word. It's awesome. And I understand that a lot of you go home and it's not like that at home. Hold on, can I be honest? It's not like that at home. You go home to craziness, to abuse. Some of you go home to cursing and yelling. How many of you don't gotta raise your hand, but you know what you go home and someone always putting you down. When I used to get home, my stepdad used to say, hey stupid, how are you? And I was like 17. I was like, I'm good. Some of you go home to alcohol, to drugs, all this wild stuff. Hold on. Let me tell you, if Bible Club got canceled, let's just say for the rest of this year and next year, and they never let me come back. Listen, I want you to understand something. This Bible Club is incredible, but what's more incredible is you can take what you learn in this place, right here in the back. Hold on for me. Shh. You can take and you can actually talk to God. And I want to tell you something. You not only can talk to Him, He wants to talk to you. And the conversation doesn't have to be awkward. I want to pray with you before we leave. And we brought a gang of food for you guys today. I want to make sure we don't run out this year. But I want to pray with you, and I want to pray that the awkwardness in your conversation with God will stop. How many of you in this room will commit this next week to talk to God at least once this week? Like you'll talk to Him. Not like, God, give me new shoes, please. No. Like you'll really talk to Him. Anybody in this room? That's it. Anybody? If you want to have a conversation with God this week, I want you to stand to your feet in this place. Come on. That's what I want you to do. If you will commit to have a conversation with Him this week, and you'll just commit to talk with Him. Hey, and you may not know how it's going to be. It's kind of like a blind date a little bit. You're like, man, I don't know what He's going to say to me. I challenge you this week to talk with Him and see what happens. Roosevelt, I want to pray with you real quick, all right? Jesus, Jesus, I thank you. Hold on, I'm going to dismiss you right now. Hold on, Jesus, I pray for this room. And I pray that this week, God, these students would have conversations with you. God, I pray that they will know you, so want to talk to them. And I pray, God, that they would bring all of their problems and issues and things they go through in life to you. In Jesus' name, amen. I love you guys. Hey, next week, all right? If you guys need prayer now, we're going to be here. Love you guys.